Tehran, Syria's future is determined by its people, and the European states are involved in supporting terrorist groups in Syria. Iraqis cast ballots in regional elections amid tight security. Maduro pledges to follow in the footsteps of the late Chavez. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Zierado Krikorian with the news in English. Iran criticized the European countries which offer support for the armed terrorist groups in Syria, asserting that Syria's future and the unity of its territories and ensure the of all components of the Syrian people in the political process. The Jordanian Foreign Minister Nasser Joude and the Spanish Foreign Minister José Margallo stressed during the meeting in Amman on the importance of continuing coordination and consultation and communication between the two countries regarding various issues in the region, especially the situation in Syria and other issues of common interests. The two sides also discussed the latest developments in Syria and its humanitarian repercussions on Jordan, in addition to the latest developments in the Middle East. The UN envoy to Syria, Lakhdar al-Brahimi, briefed the UN Security Council about his mission in Syria. Following the session, Brahimi said that no changes occurred with regard to his mission, referring that the Council was serious in supporting this mission. He warned that the Syrian crisis is the most dangerous crisis confronting the world. Brahimi denied rumors that he would resign after feeling disappointed due to the Arab League and the UN Security Council's failure to find a solution to the crisis in Syria. He said that he didn't resign, but every day he thinks in the necessity of his resignation. In turn, some diplomats who attended the closed Security Council session said that the reason behind Brahimi's attempt to dissociate himself from the Arab League was the AL's decision taken last month, which recognized the Syrian opposition. Terrorists fired RPGs on the residential buildings at al-Dhahra neighborhood in Arto's Damascus countryside. The terrorist attack caused injuries among the citizens and big damage to the houses and public utilities. Units of the Syrian Arab Army killed several terrorists, including an Iraqi, who were committing sabotage acts against people in Babila, Damascus countryside. The army also destroyed a factory for manufacturing explosive devices in al-Buwaida village. Meanwhile, about 50 terrorists were arrested in an ambush set up by an army unit in al-Husayniya village, Damascus countryside. The Syrian Arab Army restored security and stability to the villages and towns of Qadish, al-Mansouriya, al-Radwaniyya and al-Saadiyya in al-Qusayr countryside in Homs. Units of the armed forces targeted terrorists in several sites in Homs countryside, inflicting heavy losses upon them and destroying their criminal tools. Units of the armed forces targeted terrorist gatherings in al-Ashtar neighborhood in Al-Rastan, killing a number of terrorists, among them Abdurrahman al-Yusuf, Qusay Tlas and Anas Tlas. The armed forces destroyed a vehicle equipped with a heavy machine gun with all the terrorists inside it in Al-Ghasbiyya in Ad-Dar al-Kabira in Homs countryside. A unit of the armed forces targeted terrorist gatherings in Idlib countryside, inflicting heavy losses upon them and destroying their criminal tools. A military source said that units of the armed forces targeted terrorist gathering in Binnish in Idlib countryside, killing and injuring a number of terrorists and destroying 2 cars equipped with heavy machine guns. In Aleppo, 2 children were wounded as a result of the mortar shell thrown by terrorists into Al-Jamiliya neighborhood. The shell also caused heavy material damage to nearby buildings and cars. In Deir ez-Zor, a Syrian Arab army unit destroyed several cars equipped with machine guns and armored vehicles near Al-Halabiya roundabout and As-Siyasi bridge, killing the terrorists inside them. In Al-Hasake, the people of Al-Sukkariya village intercepted terrorists' attempt to break into their village, killing and wounding several of them. The Palestinian People's Committee for Defending Syria held a mass rally in the village of Kafar Nama near Ramallah in the West Bank. The participants asserted complete solidarity with Syrian people, its army and leadership in confrontation of the aggression launched against Syria and the Arab nation as a whole. The speakers affirmed that the Palestinian people will always stand in support of Syria, which has always been supporting their just cause. A huge crowd of Palestinians from the 1948 occupied Arab territories and from the occupied Golan took part in the rally. Welcome back. Iraqis cast ballots in regional elections amid tight security, marking the country's first vote since the U.S. military withdrawal. Voting is taking place at more than 5,300 polling centers for members of provincial councils who will serve in 12 of Iraq's 18 governorates. Thousands of candidates from 50 electoral blocks are running for 378 positions. In an attempt to create chaos and eliminate the elections, terrorists detonated 2 explosive devices near al-Latifiyah to the south of Iraq, causing the wounding of several citizens. Security cordons have been set up around polling places and only authorized vehicles are being allowed on the streets in major cities. The elected Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro was sworn in as president, succeeding the late President Hugo Chavez. Maduro pledged in his inaugural speech to follow up the footsteps of the late President Hugo Chavez and to continue the revolution and fight poverty, as he called on the opposition leaders to open a dialogue to build a home for a just future for all. The inauguration ceremony was attended by thousands of supporters of the new president. It was also attended by a number of presidents, including Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad and the Cuban President Raúl Castro and the Bolivian President Evo Morales.
La segunda vida, el Chávez.
With this, we end our news for today. Thank you for watching. For more details about Syria and the region and to view this bulletin again, you can always visit our website in English, syriaonline.sy. Now to latest business and market news with Vani Ganjian after a short break.
Good afternoon. The Minister of Labour said that the Labour Organization is a key partner for the Ministry in modifying the 3 laws, the Labour Law, the Major Law of Workers and the Insurance Law. The Minister also stressed that the Ministry has modified 7 acts of the Labour Law after listening to some proposals about maintaining the workers' rights and the interests of the employers, asserting that the unemployment rate in Syria will be almost 0% after the crisis ends. On the other hand, he noted that work continues to develop a new draft law for the social insurance and an assembly for social security, according to data about the labor ability in Syria. The general establishment of the engineering industry emphasized that work is good in the general companies of cables in Damascus and Aleppo. In spite of the current circumstances that the country is undergoing, the establishment showed that the cooperation between the industry and the electricity ministries continues to improve to engineering industry, as they have agreed on setting a schedule in order to increase the production capacity of low-tension cables. The Cabinet approved on the document of the National Program for Quality, which aims to improve the infrastructure of the quality in Syria according to the international demands. The document emphasizes on finding the suitable environment for the quality through setting new legislations, in addition to revising the applied legislations concerning the standards, markets monitoring, and the product's integrity in cooperation with the concerned ministries and the stakeholders. Futures of the crude oil closed on a slight rise in the second session of the profits, as they were recovered from a sequence of 6-day losses, while the U.S. crude ended the trading session 28 cents per barrel up, as the Brent futures also closed the June delivery 52 cents per barrel up, after climbing previously to $100.33 US per barrel. The U.S. shares recovered, especially the technology stocks, supported by strong results of Google company and other companies, but still the recovery was not good enough to protect the Standard & Poor's index from registering its worst weekly performance since last November. In the local market, the Jewelers Assembly set the price of the 21-carat gold at 4,750 Syrian pounds per gram, while the Rashadi golden coin was set at 34,700 Syrian pounds and the English coin at 38,800 Syrian pounds per gram. The US dollar continued rising against the yen after Japanese officials in Washington said that the international community understands that the Central Bank of Japan was solving internal matters when it took easing procedures for the monetary policy, as it did not aim to interfere in the exchanging prices. The US dollar rose 1.55%, which was the highest level in a week, in addition to the euro, which was high 1.65% against the Japanese currency. With this, we conclude our news. Thank you for watching and goodbye.